We spend so much time fearing what might happen if we leave that we forget to notice what's already dying inside of us because we stayed. I am talking about staying in workspaces that are no longer good for us. The hidden costs of staying where you no longer belong. My name is Catherine Allen. I am a life and business coach. My goal is to help you create the life that you want through freedom and income. It doesn't happen all at once. It's like tiny cuts. The excitement fades, your energy drains, and one day you realize you've built a life around endurance instead of fulfillment. You start convincing yourself this is just what being an adult feels like: tired, unmotivated, disconnected. But that's not adulthood, that's emotional erosion. And every time you silence the part of you that wants more, you lose a little more spark until you forget what joy even feels like. Maybe you have experienced it. And one of the things that we really want to be aware of is when we stay in spaces that are not good for us. And I'm talking about workspaces because working is such a big part of our whole life existence. And when we stay in spaces that are not good for us, it's costing us something. And for some people, the cost is greater than others. You can lose not just the joy that you would like, but it can also lead to an identity shrinkage where you can find yourself becoming someone else to keep others comfortable. And a lot of women in corporate, I would say in particular, may not want to admit that, but think about when you have to overanalyze, reading an email over and over to make sure that it's not going to be taken the wrong way, knowing that you have to say things a certain way for certain people, knowing that you're always being judged for what you say and how you react to everything around you. It may cause you, without realizing it, you may be shrinking a little just to keep others comfortable. If you find that you have been shrinking to keep others comfortable, or you find that you are spending too much time navigating the microaggression, dealing with your feelings about how you are being treated, then perhaps it's two options you can take. You can look for another job, hoping that that environment is different, or you could consider creating something for yourself. And of course, I am not suggesting that you would just up and quit your job and say, I'm going to create this. But I am suggesting that if you find that you are just at the end of playing the game, you are unwilling to continue to play this game, and you do not see yourself doing what you're doing 3 to 5 years from now, then think of a strategy that can replace your income. And maybe part of that is looking at your skill set, your life experience, and see, is it something that I could start a business around? You don't have to resign yourself to a situation that's not good for you. And let me just step back to speak to you if you are someone who have resigned yourself to, this is just the way my life is. I have accepted it. I don't like the way I'm being treated. I don't like the disrespect. I'm not being compensated, but it is what it is, and I have accepted it. If that is you, I do need you to really think about the impact that it is having on you, um, emotionally and mentally. You may not be so aware of it, but it is taking a toll on you in that way. And who knows, it may even affect you physically. In either case, do speak to someone who can help you deal with what the feelings that you are having to process and that you may be internalizing. So it's nothing wrong with speaking to a therapist. Now, if you know that this is not me, I need a plan, then think about what can you do? What skill set do you have that is marketable to others? If you're coming from corporate, you may come from HR, you may be in HR, accounting, marketing, finance. All of those skills that you have are marketable to small business owners and entrepreneurs who do not have that skill set in house. So they are willing to pay someone with your skill set to help them in their business. So you could actually start a business on the side of your job and build it up to a place where you could pivot with just that if that is something that you want. Or maybe you have a life experience that you have overcome and that there are other people who are dealing with that same thing who could use someone to guide them to work through that. You could do that as a coach. So your skill set and your personal life experience is something that could be the path for you to get out of these spaces that are not good for you and where you feel you no longer belong. It is all up to you. It's your thinking about your mindset around the possibilities and the beliefs that you have. Every feeling that we have comes from a thought, and that thought comes from around our circumstances. And in this case, your circumstance may be being in a workspace that is not good for you, and you no longer want to stay on that path of being in those spaces, whether you move from one job to the next. What is your belief around that? If you believe that I can't do anything about it, then you will probably stay in that space. But is that really true? So let's examine that. So if you just change your thought around that to what is true, and maybe that truth is, I don't like my workspace around me, and if I could get a strategy to get out of that workspace, then perhaps I can pivot in maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years. That is true. The belief that I can't, I just have to accept it, that is not true. So when you make that mindset shift to what is true, then your behavior will be different. You can take action on it. So that's why it's very important that we are very mindful of what we believe, because if we believe something that is not true, it could hold us back from getting the life that we want. So I just want to share that with you because I want you to have and create the life that you want. I don't want you to stay in work environments that are not good for you, because the reality is if you stay in prolonged environments like that, it will take a toll on you, mentally, emotionally, and it could actually take a toll on you physically as well. If you find that you're at the crossroads, feeling like staying in the environment where you are, that it is costing you too much, it could be your emotional and mental well-being. It could be that you are just giving too much time, that is taking a toll on you. When it gets to 12 and 14 hours a day as the norm, that is a lot to put on yourself. And if that is not something that you want to continue to do, then that is also time for you to assess what are you going to do to change your situation so that you can be in a space that is good for you. So I hope that I've given you something to think about. It is very important that we look at our physical and our emotional and mental well-being in our workspaces, and that we take care of ourselves. So I thank you for coming by to watch this video. I have a gift for you. I would love for you to grab a free guide that I have. It's entitled Tap into Your Zone of Genius and Monetize It. The link is in the description below. It is free, and I have a prompt in there that you plug in information about yourself and put it into Chat GPT, and you may be amazed at what it comes back with as to what could be a path for you. So do grab that. Do subscribe so that you can be notified when I do drop another video, because my goal is to help you to reach the life that you want. I hope to see you in the next video.